later start than I would have liked. I think it's all a bit confused today. Not bad. The sun's good. There's no wind. I've got more to be happy about than to be upset about. So I'm gonna just try and find a hassle-free route, which gives me a bit of exercise, a bit of speed, maybe some conversation, some scenery. I'll begin the video with a little different landscape, or a little different setting. Well, it's not a different setting, I've been here a million times, but I'll begin proceedings with trucks and containers while I'm down at, I think it's actually called Friendship Drive. I think that one is Friendship, and this one is something to do with the heir to the throne, Prince of Wales Drive or something like that. Anyway, I'm late this morning because I wrote a little blog about tradies and traffic and respect and how all the stars and the planets aligned yesterday, and I had a real good moment of collaboration, cooperation on the roads. It was wonderful, and I really wanted to acknowledge the good and just say thank you guys to to everyone who was sort of patient and actually obliging, and well, everyone who partook in a little bit of courteous behaviour on the roads. That was the purpose of my blog, to say thanks and acknowledge it. And then it just happened again. I had a tradie waiting at the intersection at Mascot. He's like, hey buddy, how are you? And I was like, good thanks, beautiful day. He said yes, have a good ride. Good. That was a nice start. And then I almost got car doored just on Coward Street. It was the location, not what I am. And a bike rider was right behind me, and I was about to signal to him to the fact that the bike lane had been closed for no reason at all, and there were some witches' hats ahead. And I went to turn and say, buddy, and as I did, someone opened a car door, and it missed me by, oh, probably 4 or 5 millimeters. So all's well that ends well. I wasn't in Mossman or anything, for the record. Back in the 90s, there were about 4 rides through Mossman in a row in which I got car doored. But things have improved. I'm not complaining. I'm done with complaining. I'm sick of it. It's so whingy. I'm gonna get the sun on my face with these beautiful containers in the background. Ta-da! How's that? Is that different? If I ride sideways with no traffic around me and a beautiful vista, you wanna actually see it. Botany Bay on a Wednesday morning. I do have to think about it, but not that hard. It's not like a real taxing thought. So anyway, continuing, got past the car dooring incident. Phew! Phew. And then what happened? Went through, well, I'm taking a punt at the names of these places. Mascot. Maybe it wasn't. Botany, yes, I'm pretty certain. And then down to Foreshore Drive. Now, there's a tiny patch of Foreshore Drive where you have to cohabitate with trucks. I'll just take a little pause and go up this gutter and tell you the rest of this story without the hum of my wheels. Very unglamorous jumping at the gutter. In other words, unclipping and lifting the bike. Anyway, do not climb rocks. But really, I've always thought that sign looks like don't stumble upon a big pile of dog shit. I'll show you again now that I've said that, because otherwise it might sound like I'm just swearing for the sake of it. Hang on. Okay, weird warning signs, but that's what you get at Port Botany, which is where I am. Ta-da! Rain beyond the heads, blue sky from the west with a prevailing southwesterly. So in other words, what happened, I went through Botany, and there's this patch of road where you have to cohabitate with trucks. Now, It's a few hundred meters. It's not even a kilometre, but and there's a little hurdle, a little hill to go over. Beauchamp Road, I think it is. Neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. You know, I've done it 1,000 times, but I really, it's like heart in the mouth kind of territory, and where you're just at any moment prepared to jump, like off the bike if you have to, and just basically bail and forsake everything, which I've never done, thankfully, but I'm always prepared, because it's to get here, which I'm totally entitled to ride in, a place I'm totally entitled to ride to, and so anyway, I came here, because I didn't know where I was going, but I just was pedaling. And all of the truckies were unreal. And you know what? I was like doing these hand gestures, thanks, and there was a moment where there was a precarious intersection and it could have gone a bit awry. So instead of like trying to say, dude, this is my patch of road, I'm gonna stay here at all costs, I was like, I'm gonna slow down. And I did that, whoa, I'm easing off gesture. And then I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't understand. So I jumped up on the footpath and let the truck come by. It was a B double, I didn't want to mess with that one. And then he was like, yo, doot doot. He gave a little hump hump and said thanks out the window. So I knew he was grateful. And then I jumped in behind him, came around the bend, ta-da, here I am. He went Friendship Drive, I went Prince of Wales, whatever it's called. And I'm here, safe, intact, telling you the story. So what my point is, from the blog, I've realised if, like I think I titled it something like respect begets respect begets respect. That's it. It's as simple as that. That's the moral to this tale today. If you give a little bit of love, you might get a little bit of love in return. If you give a little bit of respect on the road, you might get a little bit of respect in return. If you give a little, hey, you take that one and I'll come in afterwards, then you might get to your destination intact and really quite satisfied, which I am right now. So now onwards with the ride. I'm just looking through these beautiful lenses and I don't know if you can understand, but it's really quite a pretty vista. And in fact, if I didn't have other things to do today, I'd contemplate going fishing, but I hate fishing. So and it says, so don't hook animals on a line at this location. You know what's funny about that? Not very much, but it is kind of like the place that you come to find signs that you've never seen anywhere else in the world. I've never seen that one. I'm seeing it again and again now. Does that strike you as odd?